As expected, we have another Double Special Heroes banner for November 2022. We'll be going over the 8 available heroes briefly. Normally, in the past 2 years, the November Double Special Heroes banner was tied to Black Friday, including 5 First Summon free tickets and various orb pack deals. However, if you logged in, you'll notice that that is not the case this year. So, are we not getting Black Friday rewards this time? Well, according to the data miners, we are allegedly getting an Ascendant banner for Black Friday, and this is where the 5 First Summon tickets and orb packs will come with. I will link their post in the description if you want more info, but basically, the First Summon tickets are labeled Ascendant, and thus everyone is assuming it will be some kind of banner just with those hero types. Considering Tiki literally just came out and similar for Air, they probably won't be on the banner. If it's a 4-man banner with all 4 colors, then high chance Marita returns, although she was back in September. As the only Vital Astra holder, I can definitely imagine her being back regardless. Similar thinking for Fjorm because Hardy Fighter busted, but Hilda could also take the green spot. For blues, Idun was back with her rerun this month, so that leaves Ishtar as the probable choice. Then for colorless, kind of a toss up here, it could be any of the 4 choices. Again, this is assuming a 4-man banner with each color. We have no clue what this banner actually is going to be. If this interests you, then wait a few more days till Thanksgiving. There will be orb packs available for sale, so you may want those even if you're going to be going for this Double Special Heroes banner. Moving on. This month we have 2 returning 4-star focus units, Spring Henry and Young Ilyana. They share that 3% rate, so technically lower than on their individual banners. This month we have 2 exceptional color groups, and red is one of them. First up, Young Mia, or Mini Mia. She's a super fast sword infantry unit with her sharp ward sword. It activates specials, grants +5 to all stats, and can give her the no follow up and dodge statuses. She must start the turn near an ally though. In addition, she passively has Phantom Speed, which means an extra +10 speed when she's doing stat comparisons. In a very Mia way, she can just challenge any other super fast unit, and she may still proc dodge and no follow up against them. To pair with this very Swordmaster-esque weapon, Mia has speed and defense tempo, still the only holder of this skill. No guard can ensure Flashing Blade 4 works, and then you got Odd Tempest for extra movement. Get Flashing Blade 4 with either tempo or Tempest. Joining Mia is Harmonic Summer Edelgard and Altina, a super slow armor unit, and very likely top 8 pick for next year's A Hero Rises event. Harmonic Edelgard is flat out busted and an extremely fun unit when in your hands. Regal Sunshade grants accelerated specials, 40% damage reduction for 1 hit, attack buffs and debuffs, and then the potential for brave attacks for either phase. There are some positioning requirements for the brave hits, but generally this is not a huge issue if enemies are grouped up. Edelgard has immense brace attack, and she retains Raging Storm, which gives her another action if you initiate when solo. To get to the enemy, you got Assault Troop, which can give 3 movement, but only in one direction. Still, this basically makes Harmonic Edelgard one of, if not the best player phase armor unit around. She can move 3 spaces, 2-tap an enemy, Raging Storm procs, so she can 2-tap another enemy. If you use Gale Force, she can 2-tap a 3rd enemy. Disgusting stuff. You can also easily run save builds as well with her. If you need more damage, the Harmonic skill gives a +6 attack field buff and bonus doubler. It also applies resonance shields for a little bit of defense. Now, if you just want Assault Troop, you can get that along with Attack and Defense Ideal 4. We have the tier 3 on some free-to-play units like Cervantes. The other top tier color group is blue, starting with Bridal Lilina, a blue mage cavalier. She has one of the highest base attack stats in the game along with high res. She has no speed or defense though. That's fine because like her legendary counterpart, this Lilina is meant to run Gifted Magic, her unique area effect special. It doesn't do much AoE damage, but it's on 2 cooldown. With True Love Roses, Lilina accelerates specials and gets -1 cooldown on turn 1. Thus, she pre-charges Gifted Magic and will recharge it after every use unless you run into guard. She doesn't have Hardy Bearing, but instead she has more damage compared to her legendary counterpart. For extra AoE damage, Lilina has Stillwater 4 for +7 flat attack and res at the cost of defense. She then has attack and res for Trace for Kanto. Joint Distant Guard can give her higher res if you do fight a mage, and just support the team in general. All in all, very strong unit, and legendary Lilina basically wants Stillwater and Fortress herself. Joining Lilina is dual summer Thorr and Loki. They are very similar to Lilina, but do not sacrifice all their defense and are a flying blue mage. Divine Whimsy accelerates specials and grants +6 attack while inflicting -6 attack on the foe. However, every single turn, this weapon also inflicts exposure and stall on the slowest foe, and it spreads in a 2-space AoE. If Thorr is within 2 spaces of an ally, she gets -1 cooldown every turn as well. Not a very insane weapon combat-wise, but Thorr provides excellent support. Stall can stop movement buffs, while Exposure simply gives attackers plus 10 damage per hit. We had a lot of brave weapons this year, and that's an easy 20 extra damage if they attack an exposed enemy. Their dual skill grants more support by inflicting gravity in cardinal directions. It also neutralizes any bonus on foes within 5 rows or columns. This includes status effects. That is a very rare ability, but you do have to act on it before the enemy reapplies their buffs. You then got Worldbreaker, providing extra special charge for any nearby allies. For their own combat power, like Lilina, Thorr can charge up an area effect special. It will take 3 turns, but she can do this passively, and you still got Still Water for extra damage and Fortress for Kanto. Additionally, Worldbreaker speeds up the process after the first use, kinda like Special Spiral, almost. Overall, Blue has 2 very dangerous units, especially if you like the AoE specials. Next up, we have the green group, starting with young Ilyana. She's a green infantry mage with high attack and res, no defense, and a little bit of speed. She may be a 4-star focus unit, but Ilyana has her own Windy War Tome and inflicts -6 attack and res debuffs, has Dragon Wall damage reduction, and if Ilyana has 5 or more res than the foe, she prevents a follow-up attack. Not super crazy, but very nice defensive perks for a mage. Generally, you don't see that. For passives, she has low attack and res 3, which is fantastic, and Ilyana has attack and res gap 3. Not a must-have buff, but it's also on Elise now in the demote pool. Overall, young Ilyana can be a neat defensive mage, although her physical matchups are still an issue despite having damage reduction. Good luck taking her out with another mage though. Next up is Summer Eirika. She's a green flying mage with great offensive stats, and she kinda just tries to emulate Brave Eirika's strengths. Carrying Conch accelerates specials, grants +5 to all stats, grants offense and no follow-up, and inflicts guard on the foe. Eirika also inflicts AoE guard after combat. She then has Moonlit Bango F, which is just Brave Eirika's B skill except with Kanto 1 instead of Kanto 2. Eirika gets no guard and immense true damage when she triggers her special. The higher her special count, the more percentage of the foe's defense stat becomes true damage, kind of like Moonbow or Luna. Now, unlike those specials, Moonlit Bango only uses the foe's defense stat. For example, against young Ilyana, this means less damage because we won't cut down her super high res stat. In exchange, though, against higher defense foes, Eirika does deal more damage. This plays into her weird identity of trying to challenge physical damage threats like distant counter tanks. Unlike Brave Eirika, you don't get damage reduction or Surge Sparrow healing. However, Guard can save Summer Eirika from a special counterattack, which is a major weakness of the Brave ult. Instead of 30% DR, you're going to get steady impact for +10 defense. Is that enough with 25 base defense and the +5 from the weapon? Well, that's the question. To empower her initiations, you then have Attack and Speed Oath 4, top tier for self buffs and warping. Overall, Summer Eirika is sort of just a mage version of her Brave ult, but she has no sustain. One reason I love Brave Eirika is she can embarrass a green unit while taking some decent counterattack damage, but then she just heals all of it back up with Surge Sparrow. Rinse and repeat over and over. Last up is Colorless, starting with Spring Henry, a colorless bow cavalier. Henry has kinda low speed, but a massive 40 defense. Only 2 other bow cavs even break 30 base defense, so that makes him pretty unique. Unfortunately, defensive cavaliers are a bit iffy without a follow-up attack. Henry has the inheritable Character Bow Plus. If the foe is healthy or has a penalty active, you get +5 attack and defense and bonus true damage for 1 hit, equal to the total attack and defense debuffs on the foe. Not a must-have bow, but you can lay down a strong first hit with it. Henry will also come with Rally Defense and Res Plus and Attack and Defense Ruse. Those are quite good skills. He also has Brazen Attack and Defense 3, but that's on a couple demoted units already. Joining Henry is Summer Micaiah, a colorless mage cav with high attack and res. Like any Micaiah ult, Moonlight Drop is effective against armor and carry foes. She also accelerates specials and gets +6 attack and res. She then does a res check. If Micaiah has between 5 and 14 res more than the foe, she gets a follow-up attack. But if she has 15 or more res, she gets brave attacks. That is a giant res check, but brave hits with dual effectiveness and accelerated specials is very spooky stuff. The biggest issue is getting that 15 res check win against tankier units though. That may be an issue. To help with that, she gets her legendary ult's Prescience B skill, -5 attack and res debuffs and 30% damage reduction. You then got attack and res catch 4 for more attack and resistance. Micaiah also gets Maiden Solace, which lets her heal allies with her own HP and she neutralizes penalties on them. She also has Moonbow as her special, but I just didn't list it here. That wraps things up for November's Double Special Heroes banner. As we mentioned, it appears the Black Friday deals have been moved to a new Ascendant Hero banner that is not listed on the calendar. If you want to spend some money, I would wait for those orb packs to go on sale. Now, as we transition from book 6 to 7, we have another new heroes banner coming up. They might throw a new rearmed hero on that one, and we'll get the free book 7 unit too. Before that, we have a legendary hero banner this month as well. Will it be Veronica, Emblem, or Elm? I would assume Emblem will be a mythic because of Asker, but they turned Atri into a legendary hero, so who knows really. Good luck to those that are summoning. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.